Okay, everybody. It is just us today, but don't worry, I'm not making it as tough as Tuesday was. It was definitely a burner, and I still feel it. So today's going to be kind of a light flow day, more so focusing on that upper body strength and the back as well as the core. Not a whole lot of legs, just a whole lot of leg stretching. Yay. Other than that, no new announcements other than just keeping sure that you're staying mindful with yourself. Your body may be a little bit sore today. Just acknowledge that. Know when to take your breaks. Know when to push back. Child's pose, forward fold. Use your modifications. Do what's comfortable and safe for you. Other than that, I don't have anything too new. We're going to go ahead and get started. Staying in this kneeling position, or you can take it all the way down to seated, completely up to you. Lifting our arms up and overhead. Controlled leaning forward. Squeezing the core and circling back out, warming up the shoulders, warming up the back. For today, if you have a watch, don't forget to start it. Using those deep breaths, inhale, reach, exhale, fold forward, squeezing the core. Keep taking those deep breaths, bring awareness to your limbs, your core, your back. One last deep breath in. Hold at the top. Really reach to the fingertips here. Falling down. Go ahead and just roll out the neck. Finding the point of tension in your shoulder up to your ear. Holding there if you need to. Looking for that length. We're going to take another deep breath in. Go ahead and interlace your fingers in front of you. Stretching through the back, narrowing the shoulders. Feel free to take little side bends. That feels comfortable. Engaging both left and right side here. One last deep breath in, reach up. Trying to push a little bit further through those palms. Really find that length, arching the back, chest to ceiling. Go ahead and rebend those elbows. Send those palms out. Looking for that stretch through the bicep. Once you find that, hold that point of tension. You might even lift your fingertips back, looking for that deeper stretch. Go ahead and take one more deep breath in. We're going to walk our hands forward, coming all the way into that tabletop position. What we're going to do here is a little bit of a wrist stretch, warming up the wrists. Go ahead and point your left fingertips to you, shifting back and forward. We have quite a bit of down dog today, so really preparing those wrists. Switching the other side now, pointing the right fingertips back. Again, still breathing here. Bring awareness to that stretch. Focus on the feeling of the muscles. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and send those fingers to the outsides of the mat. Just rock side to side. Rocking a couple more times. Shifting those fingertips to the inside of the mat. Really paying attention to the change in the muscles stretching as you move. What muscles are active now as your fingertips point inside versus when they were pointed outside. Taking one last deep breath in. We're just going to point those fingertips back, forward, walking all the way out. Find that child's pose. Let those shoulders fall back, the hips settle, the spine lengthen. Taking those deep breaths. Again, bringing awareness to all four corners of your body. Might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel your forearms pressed into the mat. Try rocking side to side here if you'd like to add a little bit more flow. Switching to that breath, you might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. You can try walking your fingertips a little bit further up your mat, feeling a deeper stretch through the chest and in the upper body. More deep breath in. We're going to send those hips a little bit further up, crawling to the top of our mat. Send the chest all the way down to the floor, coming all the way into that puppy pose. Feel that stretch deepen, transitioning to stretching further up your arms and into your chest. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale, pushing yourself up. Find that tabletop position. Palms stacked under your shoulders, hips stacked over your knees, neutral spine. Engaging the core, taking one deep breath in. Let the belly sink downward, chest lifts up, nose to ceiling. Holding at the top. Expand through the belly. Feeling the friction in the back of your throat. Exhale, rounding out the spine. Bring your belly button upward, ribs meeting hips. And inhale, lifting the chest, rounding through the back. Doing this with your breath at a pace that's comfortable for you. Engaging the core, becoming more mindful of the breath. Go ahead and try to do one more, lifting the chest. On your next exhale, we're coming back to that neutral, straight spine. Give a little bit of love to the hips. We're going to kick that left leg back and circle it. Kicking back, engage the glutes, core is strong, and circle. Stretching through the hamstrings and the hips. Go ahead and switch that circle into the other direction now. And as you kick that leg back, go ahead and extend so the leg is fully straight. Lifting up the right arm, making a straight line from the tips of your fingers, top of your head, shoulders, hips to toes. Big deep breath in. Find that length, and on that exhale, squeeze the core, elbow to knee. Inhale, extending back out. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. 2 more. Extend. Pushing through the glutes, lifting through the shoulder. Squeeze. Last one, really reaching for that length. And lowering all the way back down. Doing the same thing for the other side now. Go ahead and find those hip circles for the right leg. Slow and in control. Switching directions. Pushing through the glute. Slight bend in those elbows. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Go ahead and extend that leg all the way out, straightening it, lifting the left arm. Bird dogs for the other side. Find that straight line and lift through the core. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, finding length. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, length. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, length. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more, looking for that length, and lowering all the way down. Curling our toes underneath of us. Go ahead and take a few hover pulses here, just lifting, using those quads, and lower. Lift and lower. Lifting through the core, pushing through the quads. Minimal pressure on those wrists. Adding on to this hover as you lift, we're going to push back into a hovered child's pose, lifting those hips in the air, all the way down dog, high plank, hover pose, child's pose, down dog, high plank. As you get comfortable, feel free to speed it up, adding to that mobility. One more. Staying in that high plank. Slowly let those knees fall to the mat. Uncurl those toes. Elbows tucked tight to your sides. Go ahead and lower all the way down. Coming up onto those forearms, pushing up, finding that Sphinx pose. Feel free to roll out your wrists, give them a break. Option to push all the way up into that cobra. You can look over each shoulder if you want to add a little bit more depth through that stretch. Lowering all the way back down. Pushing up. Curling those toes underneath of you. Shifting your center of gravity back. Lifting the hips. Find that downward dog. We're going to start with the left side. Go ahead and kick your left leg all the way up. Find that three-legged dog. Option to bend that knee and tilt those hips. Shoulders stay parallel to the floor beneath you. We're going to take one deep breath in. Look for length through that knee. Slowly press that heel towards your glute. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, kick back. Trying to kick a little bit higher. Then knee to chest. One more. Exhale, kick back. Knee to chest, stepping all the way through your hands. Go ahead and lower onto that back knee. Find that low lunge, reaching up through the fingertips. Slowly letting yourself adjust, knee stacked over ankle. Taking those deep breaths. Go ahead and bring those palms back down to the ground. Small flow, straightening and bending that front knee. Feel free to grab those blocks if you need a little extra height support here. If you want more of a calf stretch, feel free to kick those toes all the way up into the air. Trying to increase the depth of your hips every time you bend. Couple more. Deep breaths in through the nose, expanding the belly, out through the mouth. Rebending that front knee. Bring your hands up, fingertips to temple. Opposite elbow bends to opposite knee. Squeezing through the core, lift back up and extend behind you. Reach for that same heel. Fingertips to temple, twist, opposite elbow, opposite knee. Press through the quad, press through the glute, and reach back. Feel the stretch through your hips as you engage your core. Keep your chest open. Still remembering to breathe. Couple more. Last one. We're just going to bring our hands all the way back down to the mat. Curl the toes underneath. Lift up. Find that high lunge. Go ahead and just settle here. Taking one deep breath in, letting that body adjust before we step all the way up into that forward fold. Feel free to alternate bending each knee, waking up those legs. Taking another deep breath in, reach all the way up through the fingertips. Step that left leg behind your right, tucking that knee into the pit of your right knee. Taking a little side bend, challenge that balance. Another deep breath in. Reaching just a little bit further through those fingertips. And shooting back up to standing. Let the spine ripple as you fold over those legs, coming back down into that forward fold. Palms meet mat. We're stepping all the way back into that high plank, coming into the second vinyasa of today's class. Let those knees lower all the way down to the ground, elbows tucked tight to your sides, lifting up. For one deep breath in, expanding through the belly. Inhale through the nose and out through the mouth, lowering back down, pushing yourselves all the way back up into that downward facing dog. Center of gravity shifts back into those hips, putting more pressure in the heels of your feet. Doing the same thing for the other side now, kicking that right leg up. Finding that three-legged dog, option to bend that knee and tilt those hips. Trying to get your knee a little bit higher in the sky. Let the heel of your foot press a little bit closer to your glutes. On that inhale, exhale, bringing knee to chest and kicking back up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift. Last one, exhale, knee to chest, stepping between both of those hands. Let the back leg lower down. Reaching up, finding that low crescent lunge. Again, letting the hips adjust. Deep belly breath in, arching that back a little bit farther. Chest lifts to ceiling, expand through the shoulders. Windmilling down. Feel free to grab those blocks, coming straight into that bend flow. Option to lift those toes up if you're looking for more of a calf stretch. Again, still using those breaths, keep the core engaged, focusing on the stretch in your right leg, allowing your hips to press deeper to the mat with every bend. Slow and in control. Couple more. Last one, we're going to lift our fingertips all the way up to our temples, bringing that opposite elbow to the opposite knee. Squeeze through the core, lift yourself back up, finding center, and reach back. Length through every inhale, depth through every exhale. Only have 4 more. Challenging your balance. Last one, go ahead and windmill those hands back down to the ground. Curl your left toes underneath of you, lifting all the way up into that high lunge. Before stepping forward again, find that forward fold. Taking a deep breath in, rolling vertebra by vertebra all the way up to standing. Kicking that right leg behind you, taking that curtsy side bend. Looking for a little bit more length through the fingertips. Exhale, coming all the way back up to standing. Feel free to leave your hands in prayer or at your temples. All we're going to do here is just take little lifts with the knee. Tap that toe forward. Lift, tap. Engaging through the left glute, pressing through all 4 corners of the left foot. Using your quads to lift that right leg up. Feel free to add a twist at the top. If you can, challenging that balance. Whatever is comfortable for you. Staying grounded through all 4 corners of that planted foot. Last one. Go ahead and set that foot back down on the ground. Doing the same thing with the other one. Lifting up, point, tap, lift. Finding that balance through your right foot. Noticing any changes through left and right side. Using that core to brace yourself. Feel free to add that twist at the top. Last one. Go ahead and set that foot all the way down onto the ground. Re-grounding yourself, gripping the mat with your toes. Open your arms up to a T. Falling forward, half fold, and circling all the way back up. Falling forward, engage through the core, keeping yourself lifted, and circle back up. If you'd like to add that balance component here, you can lift all the way up onto your toes and rebend. Just remember to take those deep breaths. Slow and in control. Focus on that quality. Last one. Lowering all the way down. Find that chair pose. We're in a pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back. Finding that chair pose all over again. Feel free to grab your weights here if you'd like. Taking those deep breaths. We're just going to swing one arm back and lift, alternating. We're not focusing left or right side, doing them both together. Squeezing through the back, extending through the tricep. Couple more. One more each side. And we'll speed it up. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lowering both arms. Forward fold. Slight bend in those knees. Take that break. Taking those deep breaths. We're just going to walk our feet back and slowly bend into that tabletop position. Taking a few spine circles. One more deep breath in, making sure that we're centered here. Heels over palms under shoulders, hips over knees. This one might be kind of difficult for some people. You're just going to slowly let your chest fall and push back up. Letting the chest fall, find that depth, letting yourself sink and push back up. Notice that's your chest falling, your shoulders and your arms shouldn't be bending you down. You're completely moving through the chest. Keeping that activation, giving your body a nice stretch, pinching those shoulder blades together and lift. Couple more. Last one, pushing yourself all the way upright. Feel free to grab your weight for this one as well. We're bending our arms to meet that 90 here next to us, like a bicep curl, but lifting through the back and lower. Lift and lower. Keep that core strong. Don't let it give up on you. Use that breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Using that exhale, making it work for you. Keeping that arm up all the way now, you can reach forward and pull back. Feel the change in that muscle activation here. Option to drop that weight if it gets too heavy. Three more. 2, really squeeze that back. Last one. Go ahead and kick that arm all the way up. Reach through the fingertips and thread the needle through. Getting that nice stretch through your back. Giving yourself a break. Trying to walk those fingertips a little bit further if you can, just to increase the depth. Holding for one more deep breath. Exhale, pushing yourself all the way up. Doing the same thing for the other side now. 90ing that arm and bringing it all the way up, lifting through the shoulder and lower. Core is strong, making that breath work for you. Three more. 2. Last one. And we're pushing our hand all the way out. Extend and squeeze, feeling the muscle activation shift further into your lats and away from the traps. Two more. Last one, really squeeze and lower that hand back down. Push back to a well-deserved child's pose. Taking a little bit of a break here. Deep breaths. Slowly walking your fingertips a little bit further up the mat. One more deep breath in. We're going to extend all the way forward, letting our hips shift a little bit over top of those knees, slowly lowering yourself down onto the mat, onto your belly, finding a comfortable position. Letting those forearms fall underneath of you, lifting up, find that Sphinx pose. Feel free to roll out your neck. One last deep breath in. Making sure our arms are in that 90s position. Try to keep that chest lifted. From here, we're just going to raise our arms up off the mat. Again, squeezing through that back and lower. Lift and lower. Still taking those deep breaths, feeling the muscles squeeze. Couple more. Keeping those arms extended out at your sides. Last one, we're going to add on to this now, pulling those elbows back to our lats. Feel the muscle shift into activating the lats a little bit more and lower. Lift, pull, lower. Again, using your breath, engage through that core, squeezing the back muscles. Two more, and we'll add one more step. Last one, staying lifted, pull those elbows tight, reaching back for the feet, squeeze through the glutes, lift and lower. It's the last step. I know it gets a little bit complicated with so many muscles being activated, trying to do it step by step, breaking it down a little bit more. When you lift your feet, squeezing through the glutes. Two more. Last one, squeeze the back as hard as you can. Reach back through the arms, lift, lower all the way back down. Go ahead and shake it out a little bit if that feels comfortable to you. Lifting up that left foot, grab onto it if you can. If not, just reach slowly and gently, pulling that foot closer to you. Taking a big deep breath in. Go ahead and let that foot go, kicking the right one up and reaching back. Feel that stretch, the inner thigh, the quad. From here, option to grab onto both feet, pressing through the tops of your feet, coming up, looking for that boat pose. Taking those deep breaths. And exhale, lowering back down. Placing those palms under those shoulders, pushing yourself back all the way into that child's pose. Walking our hands to the left, feeling a slight stretch through our right side. Inhale, slowly reaching for more length. Exhale, slowly letting that shoulder drop further to the floor. One more deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead and walk to the right side now. Again, reaching for length on every inhale, dropping that shoulder further to the mat on every exhale. Taking another deep breath in. We're going to walk all the way back to center, coming up. Find that tabletop position. Let those hips stack a little bit over top of those knees. The last big section for today, we're just going to alternate kicking one leg up, lowering down into that Pilates push-up. Curl your left toes underneath of you. Push back, three-legged dog. Lowering back down to that knee. Push up and push back, three-legged dog. Only do 4 on each side just because this is such a complicated movement. Just making sure you feel each muscle activate, slow and in control. Last one on this side, push back. Lower back down, find that tabletop position. Still hovering those knees, step back plank, step forward. Little bit of a break before we switch to the other side. Core is strong. One last deep breath in. Rebending those knees, dropping down to the right. Get the left leg back now. Slowly lower down, Pilates push-up. Curl the toes. Lift back, three-legged dog. Lower to the knee. Push up. Kick back. 2 more. Last one. Lowering back down one last round for those bear walks. Deep breath in. This next time as you step up, you're stepping to the outside of each hand, coming all the way into that yogi squat. If this is difficult for you, feel free to place both hands in front of you, slowly working towards getting both heels on the ground. Deep breath. You can add a little twist in here if you want. Expanding through the chest, opening up the back. Last deep breath in. Stretching through either side one more time. And letting yourself fall all the way down onto the glutes. We're slowly just rolling down all the way onto our back here. Rocking side to side, waking up the core a little bit more. Small segment for core today, but it's still a burner. Don't worry. Go ahead and kick your left leg straight, bending the right knee. We're going to bring our hands above our head. Lift. Lower. This time we're lifting that left leg as well. Lower. Lifting the right knee. Lower. And lifting both. And lower. Lifting both again, but we're going to pulse into our hundreds for 20 seconds. You got it. Deep breaths. In through the nose. Keep that chest expanded. Don't let the back round out. Core still engaged. And lower. Go ahead and hug both knees. Give them a nice break. And we'll switch to the other side. Let that left foot bend, extending that right leg. Hands above head, lifting up and lower. Lifting up and lifting right leg. Lower. Lifting up, lifting left. Lower. And lifting both. Lowering back down. This time we're going to lift up. We're going to go into those hundreds one last time. 20 seconds. You got this. Keep that core braced. Breathe deep breaths. 5 more seconds. And lowering all the way back down. Go ahead and give those knees a nice hug. Feel free to rock side to side. When you're ready, go ahead and lower both feet, kicking up that right leg, hooking it over top of our left. Feel free to stay here if this stretch feels good to you. But you can also grab onto the back of that left leg or onto that left shin. Gently rocking side to side. Finding the point of tension in your leg. Extending the hands out to either side of our body, letting those hips gently fall to the left. Both shoulders still on the ground. One last deep breath in. Exhale, lifting up into center. Unhook that right leg from your left. Lifting the left, hook it over your right. Feel free to stay here if this stretch is enough for you. Or feel free to grab onto that right leg. One last deep breath in. Send those arms to either side of your body. And let those hips fall to the right. Coming back up to center, unhook that left leg from your right. Bring the soles of your feet together, gently letting your knees fall to either side of your body. One hand over your heart, the other over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of your body. Try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat. The rise and fall of your chest as you slowly allow yourself to sink further and further into the floor. Try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Letting go of any tension or stress built up throughout the day. Setting your intentions and bringing awareness to what you want for the rest of today. Seeing how your body feels, checking in with yourself. Are you sore? Are you tired? Do you feel relaxed, energized, calm? That's going to bring us to the end of today's class. Thank you all so much for completing week 2. We made it. We'll start to ramp up the intensity a little bit more next week, but I'm sure you won't even notice. I promise. Other than that, thank you all so much for coming, and I'll see you all again next week. If you haven't watched, don't forget to turn it off.